Just my headphones just came unplugged. What the hell, bro? This video is made for adult collectors because at the beginning of this there's a flashing lights warning.
Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me when I'm falling. Cover up my
Going to preface this before I get started. No, this isn't the reissue version. This is the original. The reissue legally releases in February as of right now. That's next year. So Fort Max got a reissue a couple days ago and then promptly sold out within 10 minutes on Pulse, but there are other stores carrying the reissue and Pulse has restocked it because of how quickly it sold out. I didn't quite get why they put it back up. Like, it's such an odd choice, but I guess Hasbro did their research because, like I said, it sold out on Pulse instantly, so they knew. One of the things that I like doing is studying marketing trends because, you know, I went to school for that. But I don't ever remember seeing more than like 5 or 10 people saying they want this guy again because I was just looking in the wrong spot. But he's coming out, so is he worth the rebuy? Now, I originally wasn't planning on doing a video on this guy because I paid like 30 bucks for it, almost brand new due to some trade stuff I got at a local shop. But because of the recent pop-up online, I figured I'd throw my hat in the ring on what I think of this. I didn't want the $30 I paid to influence me recommending it because of course it's worth $30, but now that I know the new price of it, it makes sense. It's easier to recommend or not recommend. Speaking of that price, it was around $160 to $170-ish during release US, depending on where you looked. But putting that into an inflation calculator, which they aren't always the most accurate things in the world, but they're a good basis to go off, and you get, $232 US. Okay, so 199 bucks ain't that bad. Though I do have issues with this thing that kind of keep me from recommending it. So I don't have the stickers because that was the only thing not included with mine. Oh well. I could get the toy hacks, but okay, yeah, not just right now. Oh boy, that's expensive. So Fort Max, the actual toy, is covered in a lot of nice sculpted detail. You definitely don't get bored looking at it. It looks imposing for his stature and he definitely commands a presence. And even without the stickers, the red, blue, and white color scheme works quite well, though the weird gray on the knees throws me off a bit. However, he is leaning back a bit, because if I try to straighten him out, this happens. Yeah, so he isn't the most stable thing, and he has no heels, and some very weak ratchets in the hips and knees. Like, listen to Metroplex's clicks versus Fort Max's clicks. That, coupled with the lack of any foot articulation, makes standing him in any pose very hard. It's doable. I can't get Fort Max in a T-pose, he won't stay standing. But it's not the most fun thing in the world. He is a headmaster, of which we'll get into that first, so you can take his head off and, oh yeah, he makes some noises. You have to hold the head to, like, do that. You can take it off. It's just this is the pressure plate. Alright, out of head mode is very, very simple, and if you have the G1 toy, it is exactly the same. Except with added feet folding out and that. Like, yay, we're done. We're done. It's actually a lot less complex than this idiot, but you know. So this is Cerebros. He looks cool. Not that much different from the original, which I guess if it ain't broke, don't fix. Color-wise, he's different, but everything else is pretty much the same. But nonetheless, just like the larger bot, he has a lot of nice sculpted detail to him, and I also don't get bored looking at this.
So his articulation is fine. Head, actually quite posable, which is a surprise, but I think that just has to do with how it sits in the actual thing, so it wiggles in that, but it can rotate. Arms can go full 360, in and out. You get elbow ball joints. You have a bicep swivel and a bend. Nothing at the wrist, nothing at the waist, because that's actually the hinge for the battery compartment. Because the AAAs in there sit this way, so it would have been interesting if they sat this way in, but I don't think there would have been enough room for the speaker. Hips can go forward that far. They can go back that far. They can go in and out. You got thigh rotation. You have a single jointed knee that bends at about 90 degrees, and then the toes can go forward and the heels can go back, so you kind of technically has a toe joint. But yeah, he's posable enough, I guess. Not as good as this, but also standardized articulation versus a time where there was no standardized articulation. It was just whatever they could put in there.
And his head comes off to reveal this little man, who I'm calling Spike, because Spike, even though his name is Emissary. So back to the big dog himself, he comes with nothing. The Takara one came with a sword, but that was also more expensive. And yeah, the reissue doesn't come with the sword, probably because either A, that would have made it too expensive, or B, it was a Takara only thing, because this is a Hasbro reissue that's coming out.
Yeah, I wanted to get him into like a cool squatting pose, but he started collapsing at the knee because they're kind of weak. I'm gonna have to do this again because I'm over here. It's far. I'm gonna look real skinny in these shots because it's unflattering. Anyways, let's just straighten him out. Ah! The head can rotate left and right. It also likes to come off. It's this angle. You gotta like get it real in there. Silence. Arms can rotate. They can go out that far. I hope you can see that without me getting in the way. Bicep rotation, elbow bend, wrist rotation. You got the hands can fold up, fingers are individual, and the thumbs are really loose on both sides. And this one, if I can take it off here, it's real loose. It is broken. You can see it's sheared the top of that little nub off, which is great. I got it like that, because this guy was tied into the box. The box was open because I didn't get the stickers, but he was still tied into the box. So that's a factory error. You do a butterfly joint, which is a carryover from Metroplex. You got waist. You got forward, back, and out. Oh, that doesn't sound very good at all. Thigh swivels. And knee bends. That's it. Nothing at the feet, which is really unfortunate because this is literally the only stable position he could be in, and by stable, he's not that. There's a lot of play in those ratchets. I'm not using a lot of force here. There's a lot of play in the hips and in the knees. So I'm hoping the reissue fixes this, but I kind of doubt it will. Just, based on how Omega Sentinel, even though he was a retool, still had some play in his ratchets, just like Omega Supreme, or Guardian Robot, or whatever they called him. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, it's weird.
So the robot, it's okay, but it isn't my favorite Titan. Actually, I'd go so far as to say it's my least favorite Titan that I own.
So to save my sanity, I'm just going to transform him into both modes in this one segment, and then we'll just cut to the other mode when I go start talking about the other mode. So head comes off, and then you want to rotate. I like to put these hands here, like this. That's the way I like to do it, so I'm going to do it like that. Fold this all up, make him look like he's surrendering. Now I'm going to lie. Well, first, you want to fold. Oh, come on. What? What? Is he just... Oh, there we go, he got stuck. This one's tight and this one doesn't like to stay, so that's pain. Smash this together. Like that. Bring this section down. Fold this back panel. This back panel. Oh my god. Filming Titans is very difficult in my style. Fold this section up. Click it into place. It just sort of sits there. However, this piece, this little bracket, does like to come off all the time, which is kind of annoying. Now we're going to lie him down. Ugh. You're gonna see my script and all my stuff. I don't care. Legs. What you want to do is you want to shift them together. Like that. Like that. They don't peg together. I kind of wish they did. And then fold the feet down. They're supposed to click in. But that one just, yeah. That one doesn't like to. Which is, I'm leaving it, I don't care. And then, I've opened up his hands, that's annoying. You take Cerebros. You split this up. He makes noises, we'll take that out. And you just sort of shove him in here. And it makes noises. The battle platform mode thing, I don't know. Anyways, what's really great is city mode. Oh, that fell off. City mode is just, this goes up, and then you open up a door here. Move this around so that I can move this back. And then, oh geez, almost. He's giving the finger. That's it. That sucks.
So he turns into an idiot lying down or an idiot lying down doing the splits. It's not the most fun, nor intricate, nor enjoyable, nor intuitive, nor interactive transformation. In fact, it's one of the most boring I've ever done. Because that's it. That's city mode. He's just lying down. His front ramps don't touch the ground anymore, though these could be used as like elevated runways now, which is cool. He doesn't have much space inside, which is my biggest issue. Sure, the legs still open because it's Metroplex, but like that, it doesn't really work properly. Titans are usually big playsets that become cool giant robots. Sure, you can decorate the outside with smaller toys, but the inside of this guy, not so much. Zarek's base mode suffers from the same issues, though that time he's more involved and looks cooler, that he kind of pulls it off. The new Cybertron Metroplex never had a base mode to begin with, so he doesn't have that expectation on him, and he excels at what he's trying to be. But this guy, nah. And he doesn't feel filled in because he's a retool of Thrilling 30 Metroplex. And it's not like the Battle Station mode is any better. The original Toys Battle Station mode could be picked up. Like you could grab the top and just pick it up and he would stay solid. But because of the ratchets on the new one, he just flops. And that's how I feel about the toy as a whole. It just kind of flops. God, I wish they made a new one. But it's an okay Titan. I'd venture to say it's the weakest of all the Titans we've gotten so far, even though I have not owned all the Titans we've got so far. So is it worth the $200? Well, if you're desperate for a Fort Max, then I'd say get it. Them reissuing this guy means they probably aren't working on a new one anytime soon. So this is probably the only Fort Max you're going to get outside the G1 toy, and this is actually cheaper than the G1 toy. But if you aren't desperate for a Fort Max and you want a Titan, there are 3, sometimes 4 on the market right now that are better. The Nemesis, Guardian Robot's still in stock, Metroplex, who's hitting clearance in a lot of places, and if you're lucky, Zarak is still available at some stores. I'm glad I didn't have to pay $200 for this, and I probably wouldn't have pre-ordered the reissue if I didn't already own it. It's a Titan that only exists to say that it exists. It doesn't really offer much in the way of play value like other Titans do, and it's only really good at standing there. But that's my look at Titans Return Fort Max. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.